Om Shanti. In the world, we have many leaders, but there are very few who are remembered in the history as very good leaders, inspiring not only few people whom they are leading, but they have inspired the entire world. So the world remembers them as very good leaders. One of them is Mahatma Gandhi, and he is remembered in India as a father of nation, but he has been a very inspirational leader who was quite religious as well as had a very high moral standard. And I believe his photos are even President Obama's office. He has also deep love and respect for Mahatma Gandhi. Then we have Dr. Martin Luther King, Mandela, Mother Teresa, etc., who not only got Nobel Peace Prize, but they have done such a good job for their nation or for the social service. We have in Brahma Kumaris, I had fortune of meeting Prajapita Brahma, who was the founder of this organization, and he had a very charismatic personality as well as his life was a very good example for all of us. And I attribute those qualities on spirituality, which he has inspired all the Brahma Kumars and Kumaris to follow that spiritual path. Because people are not born as leaders, but they cultivate that qualities in their life. And that's what we found with many Brahma Kumars and Kumaris, who, because of the spiritual knowledge and the truth that they knew about, they could rise above the social customs, systems, and go beyond that and are able to lead many of their students, or because our relationship is teacher-student or brother-sisters, and not as a leader and followers, but our relationship here is brother-sister or students-teachers. And that way we find that spirituality, knowing myself and knowing my potential qualities, because at the moment what we do is we see ourselves as what we are now. And we might have overcome quite a few of our obstacles or our weak sanskaras on our journey of this life, but we see ourselves as we are now. And we have forgotten our potential qualities. we are told about what is a good human being, what are the moral values that we have to adopt. But problem is that we find that we are not able to implement whatever we are taught in our life. Many things we are taught in our life. Some of the things we are able to follow, some of them we are not able to follow. And when we are not able to follow, we say, oh, what can I do? I would like to be nice and loving, but I can't be. I have to implement only law here because I am in that position, and I have to see that those who are working under me are following the regime thoroughly. And that's where we are taught in spirituality to have the balance in our life. Love as well as law. Because as a spirituality teaches us, we are all brothers. We talk about universal brotherhood. So we are all brothers. And hence once I have this awareness that whoever it is, whether it's my senior or junior, he or she is my brother or sister. And that way, that spiritual love will bring respect for each other, cooperation for each other, and that way we will find that it helps us to have also caring attitude. Because what I have seen is, if people feel that they are not cared about, nobody cares about them, then naturally they are not so happy to cooperate. Because I know in few of the companies also, when we have given talks, we give talk to management as well as staff. And it's the companies where the staff was very unhappy because management had nice facilities for restaurant, restroom, everything, whereas the staff had third-class quality. So they were not happy, and naturally they would go on strike or not cooperate, etc. But once they understood this spiritual knowledge and started to have that caring and attitude, then naturally the staff also started giving cooperation, and the companies were doing well with their profit, etc. So a leader, a good leader, should be leading others by the example. And one has to be a good example, because if a leader is telling people to be regular, punctual in time and all, and the leader himself is not regular, punctual, or not following the rules as they are, he cannot implement that for others. Also, a good leader will have clear vision as what I want to achieve, visionary. Having a clear vision what I want to achieve and how I am going to achieve, and how we should work together, etc. And naturally, with clear mind, we find that our not only vision is right, but at the same time we will have that decision power, judgment power, discerning power, etc. So that's what I find with spirituality. We can develop all these qualities which are potentially there within us, but we may not have developed them. So with meditation, as you will learn in next few days, what we find is a mind, we can have total control over the mind. Because at the moment, most of the people don't have control over mind. We can control over material things. That in the night we can have lighting and it looks like a day. In a summer we may have air conditioning and we can have whatever temperature we want, even in our house, car, bus, train, etc. So we find that we are able to control temperature, even rain. Sometimes we are able to have artificial rain. Whereas when it comes to stop thinking or worrying, we are not able to. We have many waste thoughts. What should be done, what should not be done, how should be done, how should not be done. If we see anybody not doing that way, then we have negative thoughts, waste thoughts about those people. So that's where we find that as we keep on meditating, we have that control over not only thoughts, but feelings also. Because many times we are upset, angry, and have hatred, anger for other people. And then we blame circumstances, situation. That because of this situation, I got upset. Or because of this person doing this way, I got upset. And as we know, when we get upset, we upset many other people. Whoever is around us naturally would be affected. And sometimes it happens we get upset in one place and express our anger in another place. Because if we are upset with seniors, we can't express our anger towards them, but with juniors we can surely express it. Or if not at job, we can express it in the family. Children can be the target. So family can be the target. So that's where we had to see that not take it as for granted that I'm allowed to get angry or bossy or having hatred for these people. Because when we are angry, upset, who is suffering first? Situation is there. Somebody has done wrong. If I get upset, it's I'm who is losing first, because my mind is not at peace. So that's where we had to realize and guide our mind in the sense that if I have that power of tolerance, would I get angry or upset? And same situation can be solved by anger or by loveful, sweet teaching. And especially, as we know, with our children, if we are bossy, angry, pushy, etc., the result is the children may behave properly at that time, but after a while, when they grow up a bit little, they will start to become rebellious, especially in the Western world. I've seen they are very rebellious, and in the Western world, the school teach children, don't follow whatever you are told. Listen to your mind, listen to your heart, and follow that. So even if the parents are angry or upset or beating or hitting, they immediately ring police to intervene. So, and they become rebellious. No, if parents say it's day, they'll say no, it's night. If parents say wear white colored dress, they'll say no, I want to wear black colored dress. So they will just say no to anything, everything. So not only I get upset, but I spoil my relationship with others when I'm upset. And that will not help me to have peaceful activities. I will be peaceless, I may have tension, etc. So that's where we find that balance in the life will help us a lot, because we can't be all the time loving and sweet. We have to be lawful and strict also, especially in the army and all. There is more discipline and strictness and all. So we have to be lawful also, but at the same time we have to see that we are exerting the law with love. Now, visionary will have usually very broad intellect and will think about past, present, future very clearly, and naturally, if there is positivity and determination, because we need positivity and determination, no? Because those who have achieved excellence, whether in sports or whichever field, they had that determination that I'm going to be the winner, I want to have a gold medal. And with that vision and with positivity, they are able to achieve excellence in their field. So that's where I have to see that I have that determination to achieve my goal. So when there is that love for other people, naturally we take interest in their personal life, in their problem, etc., and try to help them. So not only in their personal and professional life, we are able to help them, and naturally that is empowering our staff, because if we are all the time looking at their weakness or defects or what they have done wrong, then naturally we will put them down and disempower them. But if we want to empower them, we have to encourage them and inspire them to do something which they may not have been able to do it. And what I saw with Brahma Baba also, the founder, that when in the beginning, when there were about 200 sisters and 100 brothers, etc., staying there, they stayed together for 14 years, and he trained them, and then he wanted them to go and give the message to others, give lectures to others. And the sisters were not sure whether they can go and speak in public. And he said, no, no, you can go and give a lecture, you can do everything, etc. So he empowered them and also trained them, because for 14 years that they were staying together, he gave them real deep knowledge as well as trained them to have a powerful yoga. And even if somebody was going to give a lecture, what he will do is he will give some major points. Okay, talk on this point, etc. So he will give few points for them to expand. So that way he was empowering them to do some task which they have never done it. And that way we found that they were able to establish many branches of this university all around, not only in India, but in world. Because unfortunately you didn't meet Dadi Janki, who is the administrative head of this organization, who left yesterday only for London, and she's 94 at this time. And when she went first to London in 74, she didn't know a word of English. And even because I was also there at that time in London, so at that time, but she had yoga power and knowledge also. She was very good lecturer. So Baba told, don't worry about it, you go and you can do service over there. And what used to happen is, some of the teachers were English knowing, and the students were mostly English. So when Dadi used to give class, because we read lecture in Hindi or English, so that morning class she used to read in Hindi. And we offered, okay, if you want to listen in English, I will read. They said, no, no, we want to sit in front of Dadi and catch her vibrations. So they used to prefer to listen to Hindi and somebody will whisper the translation. In those days we didn't have headphones or something. Nowadays we have headphones. So here in our classes we may have at a time about 14 languages translated from Hindi to English to French to Portuguese, Japanese, etc. So Baba inspired them, Brahma Baba inspired them to be courageous and go and give the lectures. So as I was saying, we need to empower them, train them, and naturally with our positive vibrations, the staff working under us would be very happy to follow whatever directions we give. So spirituality helps us to be what we want, because on a physical level, as I said, is we all have our own weaknesses. Some people may be short-tempered, some people may be worrying a lot, some people may be tense all the time, etc. Whereas spirituality gives us powers to overcome that weakness. As I was saying is, I get angry because I can't tolerate something. But if I increase my power of tolerance, I won't get angry. And meditation with Almighty God helps us to receive that power from Almighty. And that's how we find that if we have that aim to receive power of tolerance, also we have this example of a tree. Tree, we throw stone to get fruit, and in return, tree doesn't throw stone, but gives us fruits. Or tree tolerates all the heat of the sun and gives shade to the people under that. So we have that example of tree for tolerance. Example of ocean for accommodating. Because ocean will accommodate any type of water that is coming with the river. It won't say, "Oh river, your water is too dirty, please don't bring it." It will accept it and throw the rubbish on the shore. Whatever paper or some light rubbish will be thrown on the shore, and the heavy rubbish will sink down on the bottom of the ocean. So it has got such a power to accommodate. We give that example. Then we give the example of love and cooperation. Everybody giving the finger of cooperation. The Govardhan mountain, the mythology story that Krishna wanted to protect people from rain. And so he uplifted Govardhan mountain and everybody gave, gopas and gopis gave the finger. So with that finger of cooperation, the Govardhan mountain was lifted and everybody was protected from the rain of sorrow, suffering, whatever spiritually we may think about. So, with meditation we can have power of decision, power of judgment, power of discerning, power of love, cooperation, peace, relaxation, happiness. All these powers we can receive through meditation, and that helps us to transform our personality. Because rather than me saying, "I'm this, I'm that, I'm short-tempered, I can't help it," you have to tolerate, then it doesn't help in relationship. But if I change from angry person to calm person, that can help my relationship. And relationship is very important, not only in the family, but also at our work. If we have good relationship with our colleagues, then they can do some of our jobs when we are not able to do that. So that's how we find that leader also should be able to lead not only other people, but lead my mind, lead my sense organs. Because many times our sense organs also deceive us. We see something nice and we may not need it. Shopping, when we are going for shopping or just passing by shopping center, we may not be needing to buy something. But when we see something nice, we say, "Oh, let me buy it." And if we have money in the pocket, we'll buy it whether we need it or not. So that's why we say eyes deceive us a lot. We see some nice food or smell some nice food, and even if we are not hungry, we may be tempted to eat it. Or even if it is not good for our health, we might be tempted, because many times people get tempted. They might have diabetes or some problem, but after a while, when they haven't had the sweet and they see in the buffet the sweet is offered, they'll say, oh, let me eat it now. I may take one more tablet to control the sugar, but I must eat it now. So that's what we find is neither we are able to control our mind, nor we are able to control our emotions or sense organs. And that's how we are not able to have good relationship. So that also we find that we are able to have it through meditation or spirituality. A good leader will also have, because of that discerning power, will be able to choose right type of people working with them, and that will bring them success. Because naturally, unless you are successful in your task or vision, you are not a good leader. So, because to make decision, whom to employ, whom to not employ, or whom to train, whom to trust, etc., having that clear discerning power, we are able to help ourselves and our organization wherever we are working for. And what I find is faith in God also helps a lot in our success. Because sometimes some people don't have faith in themselves that I can do such a big task. But when they have faith in God and take help from God, we find that they have been able to achieve a lot. And they are able to be successful in whatever task they are undergoing. Even some of the students who are studying in school, colleges, and they are studying this spirituality. So what they do is, for exams when they go, they have special meditation and tell God, okay God, you have to help me. Because we establish the relationship of father and child. So child has got right over the parents to get help. So as a child, we say, okay, Baba, you have to help me. I'm going for this task, you have to help me. And we find with that faith, there is victory. We say, faith brings victory. And we have seen that in a practical life. Also, leader has to be enthusiastic and energetic. Because whatever positive vibrations we have, we are able to inspire others also. If leader is enthusiastic, the followers, staff will all be enthusiastic. Okay, come on, let's go and do, and it's done. So, enthusiasm and energy, not only physical energy, because naturally in an army and all, when people choose people, they see that they have got physical fitness. So physical fitness, yes, you need it, otherwise you can't be selected as an in the army. But at the same time, there is enthusiasm will give us that mental energy also. That yes, we are energetic and we are not tired and exhausted. Otherwise, if there is mental stress, then we get tired and exhausted easily. Whereas a relaxed person will be definitely more energetic and tireless. And so spirituality or meditation also helps us to be relaxed, and that brings success. Because we always say, if we are paying attention, there will not be tension. It's just a question of adding attention, not tension. So we pay attention to our state of mind and remain relaxed, and that helps us to also make proper decision as well as remain energetic and not tireless. So as I said, it's not that everybody is born such a great person, because most of those great people, they were ordinary to start with. Nobody knew Gandhiji when he was young or lawyer or whatever time. It's only when he started for the freedom of the nation that he started to be known as Mahatma. So that way, even if somebody hasn't got those qualities, they can always be developing them in their life. And that's what I have seen in this organization, because most of the women who started in the early days in 1936-37, in those days, as you know, not many women were educated. And most of the women socially were quite suppressed. They couldn't speak any opinion. They couldn't have their own opinion in 1936, late 30s, 40s. Women could not speak anything. When that young ladies, parents decide what they should be doing, what they should not do, what they should wear and what they should not wear, how they should behave, etc. When they used to get married, husband makes every decision. And when they are old, widows, then son will make decision as what should be done and how it should be done. In those days, Brahma Baba trained all these women. And as you see, since Brahma Baba left this mortal coil in 1969, this organization is led by women. But even when he was alive, what he did was he kept Mateshwari Saraswati as head of the organization. He was like a backbone only, instrument, but not official head of the organization. Right from beginning, he kept women in front, and those women he trained in such a way that in 1969, when he left body, people thought, okay, now Brahma Kumaris will collapse. Brahma Baba has left the body, and especially two sisters were appointed as head of the organization. Prakashmani Dadi and Manmohini Didi, they were appointed. So especially they started in Sindh. So Sindhi community thought, now two women, how they can work together. Because they think, okay, two or four women come together, everything finishes. Or in the scriptures, they say, the women are the gateway to hell, etc. So they try to degrade women or insult women as much as possible in those days. But these two sisters were trained in such a way that in 1969, when Brahma Baba left body, we had only 125 centers. In 2007, when Dadi Prakashmani, who was the next leader, left the body, we had centers in 126 countries. And we had more than 8,000 centers in India and overseas. So not only they looked after the institution very well, but they were able to expand the organization to such a level that people from different culture, countries, etc., were able to understand the knowledge and implement it in their practical life. As I said, when Dadi Janki came to London first in 1974, we had only about 15 regular students, all from Indian background. But now, in London, every morning there are more than 300 students every morning. And most of the, at least 50% of the branches in UK looked after by local people. So local people have also taken a lot of benefit, and they have surrendered their life to the organization because they took so much benefit from spirituality, and they had transformed their life to such an extent that they changed their whole lifestyle. Because vegetarian celibacy, not drinking, not smoking, is not a big thing in India. But in the West, all these things are a bit strange. They call it weird. This is all weird. They think this is weird. The society feels it's impossible or it's so weird. Whereas people changed to vegetarian diet, gave up their drinking, smoking, no time. And even in such a permissive society, they started leading pure life. So it was, we have seen a total transformation of individuals. And as I said, most of them, Dadi Janki has studied in school only for 3 years. She got admitted at, I think, age of 10 years, and she didn't like maths and science, so she gave up studying school also. But now she is able to give lectures in UN Assembly and mm, all sorts of gathering with all VIPs and all, mm, because because of her depth of knowledge and yoga power, she has been able to lead so many people and transform the life of so many people. Om Shanti.